Earlier today, we got very good news. And that very good news was that Israel's Prime Minister, Benjamin Netanyahu, said that Israel agreed to 4-hour ceasefires. They were going to pause all bombings, pause all attacks to allow people of Gaza to get out. That was the good news. The bad news, we are now being warned that the people in the United States and in Europe are next.
All of you here, all of America, all of Europe, you are next. You are next.
So we are next. That is what he is saying. Now, who is this guy? Who is this person that's telling us that we are next? Well, earlier today, we saw Speaker Mike Johnson. He's the new Speaker of the House for the United States. He met with families of hostages that were taken over in Gaza. And these hostages' families want their family members back. Now he's meeting with them. And I want to show you what he said. Just listen to this.
This is clearly, as we've said so many times, good versus evil. The United States stands with the good, and we're going to stand with Israel, and that show of force, I think, is intentional and appropriate.
So you can see right there that he said, we are going to stand with the good. So we are going to stand behind Israel. That is exactly what President Biden has said as well, is that yes, we are going to stand behind Israel, and we will provide Israel with additional relief.
This is a call for action. And this is a wake-up call, not only for Israel, not only for the Jewish community. This is a wake-up call for all of you here, all of America, all of Europe. You are next. You are next.
Again, he is saying that we are next. Now, I didn't come on here to show you a video of a hostage member's family member saying that we are next. This person is not a U.S. official. He's not a White House official. He's not an expert. I don't know what he is. Okay, he's just a family member. But let's actually go to the experts. Let's actually hear what the Pentagon is saying, because the Pentagon is now confirming 4 new attacks on the United States. Just look at this. It says right here, Pentagon confirms 4 new attacks on U.S. bases after a defensive airstrike. If you're not sure exactly what I'm talking about the airstrike that happened yesterday. On Wednesday, November 8th, we saw the United States do an airstrike because we've been getting attacked time and time again. Over the past 22 days, not counting today, the United States troops and bases over in Syria and in Iraq have been attacked 41 times. From yesterday to today, 4 additional times. Now I want to read you some of this stuff. It says right here, American troops were hit 4 times by Iranian-backed groups in the Middle East after a U.S. strike Wednesday on an Iranian facility in Syria. It says Pentagon Deputy Press Secretary Sabrina Sy said Thursday the U.S. has now been attacked 46 times since October 17th, following the breakout of a major war between Israel and Palestinian militant group Hamas. And again, if you don't know who Hamas is, they're an Iranian-backed group. Now, let's keep reading it. It says that includes 24 attacks in Iraq and 22 in Syria, Sy said. The attacks have all involved explosive drones and rockets. Now, if you didn't get a chance to watch the videos I did earlier on today, I actually did 2 different ones. In both of them, I referenced explosives that were attached to a drone. And on this drone, it landed in a U.S. base, crashed into a roof. A U.S. soldier got concussion, but that was the extent of the injuries. But the explosives didn't go off. If the explosives would have gone off, that would have completely changed things. That's why I'm bringing this up, because a lot of people don't understand exactly what's happening. What's happening is that these attacks that are occurring, they're very minimal. The response from the United States also is very minimal. According to people from Homeland Security, they're saying this is the bottom. This is the least that the United States can do other than not retaliating at all. This is the least. Then we'll start stepping it up. This is why I'm playing this video of this guy saying that you are next. Because this is what experts believe, that we are potentially next. Now, let's keep reading this. It says, if these attacks continue against our personnel, we won't hesitate at a time and place of our choosing to respond again. It says a total of 56 troops have been injured in the attacks, but most are minor injuries, and every service member has since returned to duty, according to the Pentagon. It says the latest attacks follow a U.S. airstrike on Wednesday, which took out a major weapons facility in Syria used by Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps and Iranian-backed militants. Okay? Now, she does go on to say right here, we were able to render that building pretty much unusable. That's good. So the good news is, the United States has done something. They've retaliated. They've answered back. And so, we'll see what happens there. But I want to read you this. Okay, I want to read you this right here. It says the message to terrorists must be clear. Attacks on U.S. service members, assets, and interests will not be tolerated. This is from Representative Mike Rogers, who's a Republican out of Alabama. Okay, it says hitting a storage facility should not be the final response by the United States. Okay, it shouldn't be their final response. They go on to say, we want to make sure we can contain this conflict to Israel and Hamas, and we have not seen this conflict widen. We are sending a message, and I think the message has been received. According to many, they say this message is not being received. That Iran is not taking this as a threat, because this is the minimum that we can do. So the reason why I bring this up is because we need to be prepared. We need to understand what is potentially coming, because what is potentially coming could actually impact every single one of us. Maybe not here on U.S. soil, but it's going to impact us over on, abroad in another country, potentially Syria, Iraq. Now, here's what you need to understand with that. Right now, one of the biggest threats to the United States is, yes, there's terrorist threats as well, but one of the biggest threats, and it has to do with Speaker Mike Johnson, is right now Republicans and Democrats cannot agree to a government funding bill, which means after November 17th, so in just 9 days, on November 18th, the United States government would have no additional funding. So they would shut down, which means military personnel abroad and inside our borders would still be required to continue to provide a service, right, protect our country, but they wouldn't be getting paid. So I think this is interesting what's happening, but the one thing I can tell you is I'll be here every step of the way. I'll fill you in on all the latest news and updates as soon as we get it. So again, thank you guys for watching. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys on the next one.